Hi everyone, today I'm going to give you an update on PGRO intercropping trials and a new term which may be new to a lot of you called Allelopathy. I like to describe intercropping as a definition that's given by a farmer and Nuffield scholar, Andrew Howard, which says that a simple definition is that the growing of two or more crop species where all or part of the crop cycle overlaps temporarily and or spatially, and where at least one of the components is taken to a harvest. Now, intercropping at PGRO is not new. We were doing this way back in the early 1980s. Didn't take off then, but times are different now, and we've been re-looking at intercropping over recent years. And basically, I'll give you an update of where we are now. At PGRO, we tend to look at intercropping and pulse intercropping slightly different to everyone else. We treat the pulse crop as the major crop or the primary crop, and whatever else is grown with it as the secondary crop. That's different to how many other people do that. And over the years we've been doing intercropping trial, and that's about 7 years now, we've found benefits, particularly in terms of land use efficiency, and that's been measured by something called LER, or land equivalent ratio. Now, allelopathy then. Allelopathy is a biological phenomenon by which an organism, in which case for us it's a plant, produces one or more biochemicals that can influence the germination, the growth, the survival and reproduction of other organisms. The chemicals are known as allelochemicals, and they can have beneficial or detrimental effects on their target organisms. Now, when we've been doing intercrop trials, we've done these without crop protection products, so no herbicides have been applied. And we have seen reductions in the weed mass, particularly in broadleaf weed mass. And we've often put this down to the fact that basically we've got two crops growing together in the same space, and having those two crops together has reduced the weed burden. But it's been nothing to shout about until 2003, however, where we've seen a massive reduction in the broadleaf weed burden within the intercrop plots. And to show this, the picture on the left-hand side is a sole crop of oats grown at 250 plants per square metre. Now, there has been no herbicide applied, and you can see it's almost completely weed-free. The picture in the centre is a picture of sole crop peas, and you can see the heavy weed burden that there is within the crop. You can see the tall weeds there, particularly fat hen, but there's a lot of weed burden underneath the crop canopy as well. On the picture on the right-hand side, again, it's a side-by-side picture of pure stand oats and pure stand peas, and the difference you can see in the amount of weed that there is there. Now, oats are known to be allelopaths. They can emit chemicals that can have effects on other target organisms. We think that's what's happened in the case here, particularly with weeds and reducing the weed population down. So again, the picture on the left-hand side is a sole crop of peas at 70 plants per metre squared, and you can see, again, the amount of weed burden there is, particularly tall growing fat hen. On the right-hand picture, where we've got peas at 70 plants per square metre again, but this time with an introduction of oats at 70 plants per square metre, so about a quarter rate oats in there, you can see the amount of weed within the crop is significantly reduced. So the oats are having some beneficial effects on weed control within the pea crop. Importantly as well, what happens is if you reduce the oat population down, say to 35 plants per square metre, then down to 18 and 9 plants per square metre, you do see a dose response to the amount of weed that's present within the crop. So you have to say at the end of the day, is this of any use, and can we make use of allelopathic properties to help in weed control in peas and beans? Well, for it to work, it needs to be consistent, and it needs to happen season after season. Now, this is the first time in 7 years of trialling recently that we've seen these significant effects. So 1 year it's 7, it's worked. Of course, allelopaths can have negative effects, and there have been reports in the literature that oats can have a negative effect on the growth of peas and beans. And I have to say, in the 7 years of trialing that we've done recently, that we've not seen any negative effects, but that's not to say we may not in the future. So thank you for your attention, and I'll see you all again soon.